am curious about the heart rate training and about this lactate threshold training. I'm curious to delve into this more with you in just a moment. But one of the things that I often notice in myself is that I'll run a lot by feel. So sometimes I'll leave my Garmin at home. I won't be looking at heart rate. I won't be looking at pace. I'll just be running it at how I feel. And I'm almost certain, I am certain that some of the runs that I do would be a lot faster than some of the others based on a number of the factors that you mentioned. Sometimes you're tired, sometimes you're getting sick, and the effort level is still about the same. So when an athlete asks you about, the difference between getting a lactate threshold test and figuring out, okay, like what is the heart rate that I should be operating on versus how should I run according to how I feel? Like, is there a benefit in knowing your actual heart rate based training over just running to how you're feeling on a particular day? Oh, I lost you there, brother. I think you're on mute.
100%. Sorry, I went to get a bit of water. Yeah, 100%. And like, I don't know the runners you're coaching, but like I listen, like you're a smart dude. You get that within like one day, and it just adds another tool to your toolbox. That was something that people used to say to me back in the day. Now, I was on this early, like, nearly 20 years ago. It'll give me too much to think about is another thing people say. It's like, I'd rather run by feel. Runners are notoriously bad at that. If you're good at that, that's brilliant. The intent, like you give a runner 6 out of 10, they'll push. And the thing, right, what the heart rate helps is it gives you, like, there are days, so your training, Tyson, would still be the same in terms of what I mean by that is, say if I'm getting coached by you, your athletes then would have their zones, and then you would tell them, though, they're like, oh, I'm a bit tired, or that, because the heart rate won't always work in terms of, it can be a day where I could be fine, but my heart rate just won't increase, or if the reps are below 3 minutes, it's not enough time. So the thing you have to tell people is like, look, this should take time. Like the first rep, if it's not into the right heart rate zone, don't be sprinting to get this heart rate up. I don't wear a heart rate monitor when I'm running easy because I can run easy. But I have a friend then who is a lunatic on easy runs. So he has to wear it. Because I'll know by feel, it's like, yeah, I'm going too fast. I need to be pushed. So sometimes if I'm on like a zone 2 run, which is like just slightly steady, we could still have a chat. I need to be told, like, man, you need to go a bit faster. You're just chilling again.
Yeah.
So it just gives it that most runners are like, oh, like the amount of people who tell me, oh yeah, I did my tempo at, like, I did 5 miles in sub 25 minutes, and it's like they can't run like a 10K at that pace. They can't run probably a 5 mile. Like, they probably ran their PB nearly, and it's like, that's not tempo. Yeah. That's not threshold. That's above 80%. And if you want to improve aerobically, you need to train aerobically. So if you are, like, what the heart rate does is, like, you can't go above that zone, because once you're above that, you're training something different. And I did a podcast myself with this guy, Dave McCarthy, and we're talking about where we want to push on, but your threshold pace is really is too far away from your race pace to make a difference in that system. Do you know, like, so say for me, I work out in miles. I don't know, I know people do Ks, but just for simple measure, right? Say if my 10K pace is 3 minutes per K, but my threshold pace is like 3:20 per K, just for sake of argument. If I push that to like 3:15 per K, so I'm going faster than I should be, I'm still 15 seconds a K off my race pace. That's not close enough to race pace to get me used to that pace. So you'd be better doing 3, going a little bit slower, and then actually doing like specific race work afterwards that hits like 2:55 a K. So yeah, a lot of times I think it's the opposite. People would have told me, it gets me like, I'll think about it too much. There's nothing to think about. You have a number on a heart rate on your watch, and you just don't go above that number. Like, like sometimes you will make the distinction. You're like, okay, the heart rate's not coming up, and do it easier because it should still feel like 8 out of 10. So I still would give people those intensity efforts, but I see most people can't. They don't have the confidence that you would have then to go, you know what, this is that effort. They naturally go, I could probably push on a little bit